And we are live from Southland Conference Football Media Day, and that means the season just around the corner as Lincoln Rose along with Brooke Bentley. Brooke, here we are once again back at L'Auberge Resort in Lake Charles, Louisiana, of course home of the campus of McNeese State University. We'll see where the Cowboys factor into the preseason polls, which were announced earlier. But as we speak, the players, coaches, all having a great time talking things over with local media over in the media room, where I know you will be shortly when you have a chance to catch up with the 8 head coaches. But Brooke, let's talk about what we found out just moments ago at the luncheon, and well, perhaps no surprise for the casual fans of the Southland Conference, Sam Houston State once again getting the majority of those first place votes.
That's right. Well, of course, Sam Houston State was the co-defending champion of the Southland Conference. They also were the runner-up in the NCAA championship game, so no surprise there. But they just returned 11 starters, or it's not like it's a huge crop that's coming back. So you wonder, well, are there some holes there? Is there a chance for someone to unseat them? We will see. But yes, Sam Houston, the heavy favorite coming in this year. 11
starters, by far the fewest returning starters for any Southland Conference football program this year. Brooke, of course, alluding to the fact that the Bearcats were in each of the last 2 National Division I football championship games. Central Arkansas in each poll, the coaches poll and the sports information directors poll, comes in second. Remember, Central Arkansas, their first conference game a year ago, made headlines, picking up that victory against the defending champ Bearcats, and it's no surprise they are the top 2 teams in each of the polls.
Right, and they were the co-Southland Conference champion with Sam Houston State. And really, Winrick Smothers, their quarterback, had such a breakout season last year. I think it's going to be very exciting what he does for them this year.
So from there, the question would be, who is number 3? Last year, Southeastern Louisiana with a stellar performance, 5-2 in conference, but this year it's the Cowboys who get the nod from the coaches.
That's right. And when we talk about returning starters, McNeese State returns 16. Actually, even more players with that have starting experience, but 16 tried and true starters, so they are loaded coming back. Now
remember, as you see these first place vote allocations, coaches could not vote for their own teams. We saw the Bearcats, the Bears, and even the Lumberjacks get first place votes from the coaches. The sports information directors consolidated those first place votes to strictly the top 2 teams.
That's right.
And as you see how the polls rounded out there, again, it's going to be competitive from one week to the next. You never know whether it's going to be just a single first down that's the difference between finishing maybe 5th or 8th in this conference. The parity exceptional. Earlier we had a chance to have the invocation from a talented young man over at Sam Houston State, and Brian Bell, who mentioned this is, thank you God, the best conference in the league, and the parity over the past few years exceptional.
That's right. I think it's really going to get interesting when you get to places like 4 and 5 in the rankings, because you have Stephen F. Austin, Southeastern Louisiana. Southeastern Louisiana was 5-2 last year, and they really, they came from really sort of lower in the rankings to surprise a lot of teams. What will be interesting about Southeastern Louisiana is their quarterback. They have a new quarterback coming in, so I think there's some unknowns, and maybe that was why they weren't ranked as highly, but they're a team that can sneak up on a lot of these upper level teams.
Well, you're mentioning some of the impact players that should become household names by the end of this fall. We're going to get to meet several of them throughout the course of this broadcast here live from Southland Conference Football Media Day. We'll have a chance to talk to the head coaches, have a chance to hear from the players, but let's also remind you how the all Southland Conference preseason team turned out, as again, no surprise, Tim Flanders, the All-Southland Conference Player of the Year from a year ago, back for his senior campaign, looking to get them back to Frisco one more time, leading that first team all-conference selection.
Right, Flanders, the running back out of Sam Houston State, and really, he's a Walter Payton candidate. He was in the Phil Steele All-American team. He's just garnering all these preseason honors, so he's really one of the top players in this league, and should be making a huge mark this season.
You see, it is Winrick gets that top spot, as we'll have a chance to hear from most of these individuals who made the trip to Lake Charles. And there is, of course, the defense, the side of the ball that so many of these teams in the Southland Conference try to hang their hat on, and we have more than our fair share of defensive representatives from these schools that we'll have a chance to catch up with as well. So once again, we kick off our 90 minutes of live coverage here at L'Auberge Resort in Lake Charles. We are looking forward to a great time already. Plenty of great times already had over the past 24 hours. When we come back, it will be the preseason favorites, the Bearcats, joining us at the desk. Southland Conference Football Media Day, brought to you by Texas State Farm Agents. Get to a better state with a brand new truck. Visit texas.statefarm.com for details on how to win. Also by the official bank of the Southland Conference, Mid-South Bank. It's time to love your bank. And by Jostens, the official championship ring provider of the Southland Conference. Jostens, the ring of champions.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent or visit us at texas.statefarm.com.
Get to a better state.
I like your messy hair. I like the clothes you wear. I like the way you sing. And when you dance with me, you always make me smile.
We believe you're at your best when you can relax and be yourself. And at thousands of newly refreshed Holiday Inn hotels, you always can. Holiday Inn. Stay you.
Sam Houston State Bearcats once again picked to finish atop the Southland Conference standings with a bright future ahead after appearances in each of the last two national championship games. Jason Barfield has more on this upcoming 2013 season.
For the second straight year, the Sam Houston State Bearcats enter the season with a sense of unfinished business. Twice losing in the FCS National Championship game, the Cats will try to win the title that has eluded them. To do that, the two-time defending Southland Conference champs will rely on a very experienced offense led by seniors Brian Bell, Timothy Flanders, and Richard Sincere. Flanders, a candidate for the Walter Payton Award, is the all-time leading rusher in Sam Houston State history and is approaching the top rushing marks in the Southland Conference as well. Bell is the Bearcats' all-time leading passer and will enter his fourth season as the starting quarterback at Sam Houston. Sincere is the all-purpose player for Sam Houston, running for more than 1,800 career yards and is less than 100 yards receiving from becoming the first Bearcat to top the 1,000-yard mark in both rushing and receiving. Defensively, they are very deep at the front seven with All-American Andrew Weaver, Gary Lawrence, and Jarrett Brown returning on the line. Jesse Beauchamp and the return of Eric Elo from injury will give the Cats plenty of experience at linebacker as well. Buki Sneed will be the lone returner in the secondary for the Cats, as the senior will look to add to his career total of 8 interceptions. 7 games at Bowers Stadium will help the Cats look to make another run to Frisco and a shot at the national championship. For the Southland TV Network, I'm Jason Barfield.
All right, and thank you, of course, to Jason as we take a look at some of these quick facts here for Sam Houston State. 11 starters returning. That is where the question mark lies with what is ultimately the back-to-back Southland Conference champions who share that championship from a year with Central Arkansas. You see that season opener coming up against future Southland Conference football performers, Houston Baptist. HBU will play its first football season next year, along with UIW and ACU. That conference opener officially against Lamar in mid-October. So we welcome you back here to Lake Charles. Lincoln Rose, along with 2 guys who still have a year to go at Sam Houston State, entering their senior seasons, in Timothy Flanders, as well as, of course, Brian Bell, and yet they've already become synonymous with all the success. And well, Timothy, we'll start with you. We just had yet another great lunch, and I know y'all are going to have to work off some of these calories y'all been putting on here in Lake Charles. May not be a problem for Brian, but you see yourselves atop the Southland Conference polls for a now 3rd straight year, high expectations, but you know that there's going to be hard work if you're going to get back to Frisco.
Yeah, I mean, we know that. I mean, we just the fact that we won the conference back-to-back. I mean, each team is going to play as hard every year. I mean, each game is going to mean a lot more to them teams than it is to us. I mean, we just have to go out there, you know, and stay focused and play our game.
Now, Timothy, already the all-time leading rusher for Sam Houston State. Meanwhile, the winningest quarterback in Sam Houston State history, and it's because called on as a true freshman. They wanted to redshirt Mr. Bell 3 years ago, but back then 145 pounds. Is that being generous enough? 155. 155 is what he's on the record as saying. Your goal by the start of season, 195?
Around 195, yeah.
And Coach tells me you're about 187 right now?
Roughly 187. So.
Now, what's the desire to gain weight? Is that for durability?
Definitely durability. I mean, going to take a toll on throughout the season, and hopefully we can make the playoffs again. We can take some more toll on my body.
So looking at Wade, this past spring during the offseason, folks may not know you a student teacher. You don't necessarily show a softer side too much during football season, but I know it kind of broke your heart when you had to leave those students.
Definitely. I mean, I went to a middle school and created a lot of great relationships with those kids in elementary school, and so it was a great time being with those kids, and I definitely was a heartbreaker having to leave them.
We didn't have any B-roll of him in the classroom, in case you're wondering. Just a lot of highlights, a lot of touchdowns being scored. We have 2 offensive players. We'll have a chance to check in with Brooke and your head coach, Willie Fritz, in a moment to talk about defense. But with so much consistency on the offense over the years, have there been any changes, any tweaks coming into this fall?
I'll take that one, Tim. I mean, I think we're going to have a lot of young guys have to step up on the offensive line. A lot of guys that are going to have to mature quickly, and throughout the summer workouts, that's really showing a lot. We got a lot of young guys at the summer workouts, and they're making a lot of strides and making them feel really comfortable amongst the team.
And, of course, when you think about Timothy Flanders, a gentleman who's had so much success in the backfield, you know that flip by now a couple years ago when he really made his name. What were the areas that you still had room to try to work on in this offseason?
Just a lot of stuff like just the small things like blocking, getting some more strength, speed. I mean, that can help me out a lot. So that's what I've been working on the whole offseason.
So before we toss to your head coach, what is he going to tell us about day one, what his expectations are when he sees you all take your first snap on offense?
I think he wants us to go out there and just go out there and practice fast. I mean, that's one of his main things he wants us to do is to go out there, just give it everything we got, and just keep trying to get better each and every snap and each and every day.
Timothy Flanders, Brian Bell, and fans, again, as promised, Brooke is now over in the media room with their head coach, Willie Fritz.
That is right. I'm here with Coach Fritz. Coach, thanks for being here.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Well, your players were just talking about expectations. We also mentioned earlier you have just 11 returning starters, but talk about how that doesn't really deter the fact that you are still aiming very big and the bar has still been set very high.
Well, I really think our backups have gotten a lot of work over the last couple of seasons, playing 15 games each year, and a lot of guys. We've had some good stretches where we've been able to play a lot of our backups in the second half. So I think they've gotten quite a bit of experience. And, we've got a lot of explosive players returning. You're just talking to two of them, the all-time leading passer in school history, Brian Bell, and the all-time leading rusher in school history, and Tim Flanders. So we're very excited about the upcoming season.
We were talking a lot of offense, but let's talk defense. One of my favorite names in the conference, Bookie Snead. He's obviously a key player for you guys. What do you need to see from your defense this season?
Well, we're very, very strong and deep on the defensive line, and also at our inside linebacker position. We're going to need some young guys to step up in the secondary. We're losing 3 guys who started for 4 years at Sam Houston, all of them all conference players, and then another guy who was a 3-year starter for us. He's in camp with the Indianapolis Colts right now, Dak Swanson. So we're going to need a couple guys to step up in the secondary. We think we got some young guys who can do that for us.
And as far as Brian Bell, your quarterback, a lot of the high expectations for him too going into his senior season. Just talk about how you need him to really take the reins with the offense.
Well, he's done that since he's been at Sam. I kind of threw him in the fire his 3rd game of his true freshman year. He was a whopping 155 pounds, and people thought I was crazy for having him start. But he's a coach's son. His older brother was a starting quarterback at Baylor for 3 years. So he's a coach on the field. He makes great decisions, and we expect him to have a phenomenal senior year.
All right, let's take a look at your schedule. You, of course, play HBU to kick off the season, and then you go to Kyle Field to play Texas A&M, probably one of the most hyped teams in the nation right now. How do you get your team to shift gear like that, to start with a startup program and then go to play probably one of the better SEC schools?
Well, one of the things that we do, we look and talk about the teams we're going to play in the off-season and preseason camp. And once we get to the season, to the games, our kids do a phenomenal job of focusing on the task at hand and worrying about each game in its own right. And we don't have a problem with, playing HBU, then going over and playing A&M, and then the next opponent. And, if you sit around and you're looking forward too much in this conference, you're going to lose a bunch of games. So we do a good job of taking them one at a time.
Well, in conference play, looking forward, I hate to ask you to do it, but at the very end of the season, you play Central Arkansas. Of course, you lost to them last year. How much of a pride game is this one going to be?
Well, we want to win all the games, obviously, and that'll be a tremendous challenge for us going back up to Central Arkansas again and playing up there. But they've got a fine team, very well coached. And, we look forward to the challenge. That's why you get into this sport.
All right, Coach, thank you very much for being here. Lincoln, we will send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Brooke. And you and Willie Fritz just talked about it. Central Arkansas nipping on their heels in those preseason polls. Let's take a look at what fans up in Conway have to look forward to this fall.
Last year we had a memorable team. We had a 9-3 record, undefeated on the stripes for a second year. We were conference champs and finished the season number 8 in the nation.
But now we have a target on our backs for tradition to uphold. The wind blows hardest at the top of the mountain. And every opponent we face wants to prove they're better than us.
Last year we had a pretty successful season. That's not enough. This year, the second round is not going to cut it. And this is my last go around.
There can only be one winner, and we don't plan on going home today. Last year's conference title was just the start. The start to a new beginning.
UCA football has a tradition of winning, but we are no longer satisfied. We want a new tradition, a tradition of playing in January.
Last year was good, but this year was great. We only get what we put in, and we put in 100.
This year,
history is made on the stripes.
Already being established up in Conway with tremendous success as we take a look at some of the quick facts to recap of what happened last year and look forward to this year. Of course, we talk about the stripes now. 2 years complete on those purple and gray stripes up in Conway, and a perfect home record during that tenure. 12-game home winning streak for the Central Arkansas Bears, coming off a 9-3 mark. Another appearance in the postseason. Preseason picked second in the 2013 Southland Conference polls by both the coaches and the SIDs. And on that note, we welcome in a pair of seniors, Winrick Smothers along with Justin Love. And of course, fans by now very familiar with these two grinning faces. And it's been a lot more smiles than frowns while you two have been on campus. You see yourself second in the polls. You know what you're capable of. You know you have Sam in Conway. Winrick, what are we going to see by the end of the Southland Conference season?
Well, we should see a pretty good season by the UCA Bears, of course, and I don't really pay attention or worry about, the preseason polls or where they pick us to be second, third, or whatnot. I mean, I look at it as a motivator, just by the time we get to Sam Houston, it's probably going to be the most hyped game of the Southland Conference. And we're going to be coming, we're going to ready to play, and I mean, we just going to take it in stride, take it one game at a time.
Winrick is one of several senior quarterbacks, 6 total in this league with experience coming into this year. Could very well be the golden age of quarterbacks here as we celebrate 50 years of the Southland Conference. But that just means Justin Love, the senior defensive back for Central Arkansas, is going to be facing some tough minds, and you take that as a challenge. I know you get to practice against one of the best, and according to last year, the best in the conference.
Yes, he does.
How do you prepare for that?
Well, every day, we come out to practice. We just come out to practice hard. We got a guy over there. He's going to challenge us. We're going to challenge him. And then we all just get better.
You're on the Buchanan Award watch list, one of several teammates who are predicted to be among the best in the country at what they do. Where has the biggest elevation in your game taken place throughout your career as a college athlete? What have you improved on the most?
I think I had to get better and just adjust to coaches knowing where I'm at times in the field. And they like to run the ball to my side, then I got to make tackles. They like to throw the ball, and I got to get back, making interceptions or cover passes.
Well, Winrick Smothers, intern at the local Little Rock TV station, and as a future journalist, I'm going to let you toss it to Brooke Bentley and whoever that head coach is she's talking to. Take it away.
All right, Brooke, we go ahead to you, Coach Comp.
Thank you, Winrick. I think, Lincoln, you need to watch out for your job. Yes, I'm here with Coach. And Coach, we just heard from a couple of your players. The bar is obviously set very high for you guys. You return key players on both sides of the ball, co-defending conference champions. How much do you feed off the momentum you ended with last season?
Well, quite a bit. And Brooke, we embrace those expectations. And certainly when we made this move to Division I, we certainly wanted to be in a position to be, an annual contender in our conference. And, certainly our players do leave last season and our off season with quite a bit of motivation to even exceed where we finished last year and to do even more this season.
I really felt like Winrick had a breakout season. I mean, he really proved himself as one of the best offensive players in this league. What do you need him to do to take a step forward? How does he do that this year?
We'll just continue to be the leader that I know he can be. Certainly, he's been blessed with a great skill set. I want to give a tremendous amount of props to our quarterback coach Nathan Brown, one of my former quarterbacks, and I think Coach Brown has Winrick prepared each and every week. But certainly Winrick has taken advantage of his opportunities. He sat behind Nathan Dick, a former All-American, and last year really did have a breakout year, helped by some quality play at wide receiver. But certainly now I think that he has an opportunity to not only exceed last year's numbers, but really lead this program and this team to uncharted territory.
Well, Coach, let's take a look at your schedule. You have a tough out-of-conference game at Colorado, but let's look at the conference games. Sam Houston State at the very end. How much is going to be on the line? There's going to be a lot of emotions in that game considering what happened last year.
Well, each and every week, it is it's a black and blue league. It's a dogfight each and every week, and certainly you can see here October 5th we open up with McNeese State. That's no picnic either. But each team, each and every week, you have to have a great week of preparation. And I think the key to last year's team and any championship team is remaining healthy. And we got to stay healthy, and we got to treat each week as it's a single elimination tournament. And I like the home schedule. I like the road schedule. I like this team. We get started next week, and let's see if we can go out and defend our championship. I tell our players this all the time. The wind blows hardest at the top of the mountain, and we embrace those expectations and look forward to 2013.
All right, Coach, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Lincoln, back to you.
Thank you, Brooke. When we come back here on live from Southland Conference Football Media Day, we'll be joined by the Lions of Southeastern and the Cardinals of Lamar.
Southeastern State University, you can turn dreams into reality.
I like digital forensics because I want to help stop some of the crimes in society. I think getting a degree will help me in the future because it will give me an advantage of getting a job. If someone was transferring colleges, I would recommend Sam Houston State University because of the atmosphere and the support from the professors.
Sam Houston State University. Discover a great name in Texas education.
Classes at Lamar really challenged me to grow and to develop as a person and to apply everything that I learned in the classroom to everyday life.
Everyone I've met at Lamar University, from professors to staff, they have a passion for wanting me to achieve my goals. Lamar truly loves its students.
I've met a lot of new friends at Lamar from all over the world, and I've learned so much from them. I've really gotten to experience many cultures, so it's like I'm getting a global education.
Texas Roots
infinite possibilities. Lamar University.
Southeastern Lions had one of the greatest improvements a year ago. Lots of optimism in Hammond, and for more, we throw it to Matthew Sullivan.
Southeastern Louisiana finished out the 2012 season winning their final 2 games by double digits, defeating Stephen F. Austin 42-27 and Nicholls State 35-16. The 2012 Lions finished 5-2 in the Southland Conference and ranked 3rd in league play, sweeping the state of Louisiana opponents in Southland action. 2013 Lions returned 8 starters on offense and 9 on defense. On offense, the Lions will be led by quarterback Brian Bennett, who transferred to Southeastern from the University of Oregon. Bennett will be joined on the offensive side of the ball by running back Rasheed Harrell and Xavier Roberson, and receivers Chris Malott, Tony McCray, Jeff Smiley, and Carl Pearson. Jeremy Myers is back at tight end, where he led the Lions with 3 touchdown receptions. Up front, the Lions returned 3 starters on the offensive line, led by Gaston Gabriel, Marshall Paris, and Jeremy Wilson, all who started 11 games last season for the Lions. On the defensive side of the ball, the Lions returned 9 starters with Jeremy Williams and Greg Trier up front, along with linebackers Caleb Muse and Butkus Award watch list candidate Keelan Hubert. The Lions welcome back 4 defensive backs led by preseason All-America candidate Todd Washington, along with Theo Alexander, John Graves, and Maurice Sutton. Southeastern opens up the 2013 season on August 29th at home against Southeast Missouri, and then will spend the entire month of September on the road with games at TCU, South Dakota State, and Samford. The Lions will return home October 5th to face Incarnate Word at Strawberry Stadium, and opens up Southland Conference play a week later at home against Stephen F. Austin. A solid core of returnees, along with several new faces at key positions, will hopefully lead the Lions to their first ever Southland Conference title and a berth in the NCAA playoffs.
So you heard 17 starters returning for the Lions, who surprised many, finishing 3rd a year ago, 5-2 in conference, picked 5th by the coaches this year, 4th by the sports information directors. And we are now joined by 2 reasons for you and Hammond to believe it is a bright future ahead. While many teams bring seniors, we have a pair of juniors, including the brand new quarterback, brand new face of this offense, again, and Brian Bennett. The color scheme changes the same as he moves from Eugene, Oregon to Hammond, Louisiana. But Brian, talk to us about that change. California native, you began up in the Northwest. How do you wind up in Hammond, Louisiana?
Yeah, well, I was looking for a new opportunity to be able to display my skills at quarterback, and I was looking around, and I got to know the coaches and some of the players here at Southeastern, and I felt that it was going to be a good fit for me to come and play my next 2 seasons with the Lions.
Well, Brian moved over 1,000 miles. Caleb Muse moves maybe about 5 yards at most, going from inside linebacker to outside linebacker. It seems like a subtle change, but I know there's a lot involved in that.
Right, yeah, correct, sir. And mostly, at first when they first moved me, I was closed-minded to it. I've never really played much outside backer in my life, but with all coverages and schemes, it's more fun,
I imagine it's also going to be a little bit more fun because it's harder to see over the guys in front of you this year. You've got some nice size on that defensive line.
Yeah, yes, sir. Correct that. Bigger, stronger, and faster, so that should work out well for us.
Brian, real quickly as an introduction to you, tell us about your style of play that you'll be bringing to the Lions community.
Yeah, I'm a quarterback, like I said, and I want to drop back and take what the defense gives me and just make my reads and go through that progression. But if things break down, I'm not afraid to tuck it and run as well. So we'll just see what the defense gives me this year.
Well, in a moment we'll be hearing from Brooke down the hallway along with head coach in his second year, Ron Roberts. But Caleb, you were part of that coaching change. You've experienced it. Could you imagine that a first-year coach could have that kind of impact that he had last year when you guys go 5-2 in conference?
Right. No, so I had no idea. It came in, totally different mentality. We became, with the same players, it became 10 times a better team.
Brooke, a lot of optimism, and I know you're having fun over in that hallway talking to head coach Ron Roberts.
Thank you, Lincoln. Yes, here with Coach Roberts. Coach, your players were just talking about the sense of optimism that you brought. Really a turnaround season last year. You guys go 5-2 in conference play. But do you still feel like you're sort of the underdogs in the conference?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think there's some things that we got to get done. We've got to prove and earn the respect to get in that upper echelon and be that. I know 5-2 used to say that, but I think again to gain the respect we need, we're going to have to do it repetitively over and over.
We were just talking about your new quarterback, Brian Bennett. You seem pretty excited about him. Tell me what he brings to the offense.
Well, I think he's what every coach or every coach is out there looking for. He's a dual threat quarterback. And, he's got a great arm. He's got an NFL arm, and he's he's very athletic, and he's a tough competitor, and he's got great leadership skills. So we're very excited about what he brings to the table.
All right, let's take a look at your schedule. You are on the road the entire month of September. What kind of test is that going to be for this team?
It's going to be huge, but those first 3 or 4 weeks are going to tell us a lot about where we're at. It's going to give us an opportunity to grow as a football team. It's going to give us an opportunity for us to be tested, and we're going to need to be tested in the preseason to compete for a conference championship in the Southland Conference. We're going to need some of those bumps and bruises down the road and be pushed to the test to find out what we're made of and where we need to make improvements.
Well, you definitely have a physical game in TCU. You open conference play then with Stephen F. Austin. How does that game really set the tone, do you think, for your conference schedule?
Well, I mean, every game counts. Obviously, you get to conference and Southland Conference. You got to bring your A game every week. If you're not, you're going to get cut. And so we're obviously the whole preseason is built for that to get ready for conference play, and we just want to see that improvement going through week to week, and then hopefully get our opportunity to get on that field in conference and show what we're capable of doing.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Good luck this season.
All right, thank you.
Lincoln, back to you.
All right, well, Brooke, of course, the Southland Conference continues here in 2013 to celebrate its 50th year. The Lamar Cardinals won not just the first, not just the second, but the first 3 ever football championships. For more on what they have to look forward to in 2013, here's Brianna Meadows.
are looking to change their flight path this year with a few new players and a different attitude. Standouts Kevin Johnson, Barry Ford, Colin Taylor, and Jermaine Longino will be returning along with quarterback Ryan Nosikowski. Taylor, Johnson, and Brandon Thomas were named to the College Football Performance Awards watch list. Taylor for the second season in a row. Johnson was also named to the 2013 Sports Network FCS preseason All-American team as kick returner. Lamar will be gaining transfer Joe Okafor from Oklahoma State and Anthony Beard from Southern Methodist University. Rex Dawson will also be joining the ranks as a transfer from the University of Houston. The Cardinals face another tough preseason schedule with games at Louisiana Tech and Oklahoma State, but this year they plan to come back home with the wins. The boys in red hope to continue to break team and conference records while exceeding all expectations. For the Southland Conference TV Network, I'm Brianna Meadows.
Important dates coming up for the fans in Beaumont, including that season opener against Oklahoma Panhandle State on the final day of August. Conference play against the Bearcats of Sam Houston State on October 12th. You see last year's 4-8 mark. We are now joined by a couple of seniors, Jesse Dixon and Mark Merle, and not only are they both seniors, not only are they both on the defense, but they're both on the defensive line. What should that tell us about the expectations of this defensive line in 2013, Jesse?
Just be ready for some hogs, basically, and be ready to know that we're coming and ready.
Mark, this senior class, as special as any for a head football coach, it's the one that really helped rebuild this Lamar program when they reinstituted football. Your fondest memory so far, and perhaps the memories you have to look forward to this senior year?
I think the fondest would probably be the Hawaii game, going out there in the stadium. And as far as looking forward to, I think I'm going to do Popcorn Jesse. Go ahead and finish it for me.
Popcorn Jesse, swinging it to my right then.
The fact that Mark, without me mentioning it, brought up Hawaii. Last year during Southland Conference Media Day, it was brought up that there would be a game over on the Big Island. They did not know the entertainment that was in store, but of course, Jesse, you did some hula dancing over there, perhaps a hidden talent?
I guess you could call it that, you know. I tried some salsa, it didn't go too good, so I guess hula was the next thing.
Again, a special class, 4-year program, 4th-year seniors for Coach Ray Woodard, who we'll hear from in just a moment. What do you hope will be the legacy and the foundation that you guys have created when you head out after graduation?
I just want everybody to know that we came in and we changed the program because, like, this is our senior year and it's our last chance to put that stamp in the Southland Conference.
Well, Brooke, let's toss it over to you again with 4th-year head coach Ray Woodard.
Yes, here with Coach Woodard, my old friend.
Yeah.
We actually used to do a TV show together back in the day.
We did.
All right. Well, we just saw your players. This is the first time Lamar has had players on the All-Southland preseason team. What kind of step forward is this team poised to make?
Well, it just shows the maturity of our program. We're to the point now that where we should have players that compete with the top players in this league, and I'm very proud and very happy for those players.
Now, quarterback. There was quite a bit of shuffling going on last season. What is your quarterback situation going into camp? I'm assuming there's some sort of competition.
Well, we got both those young men back, and then we got Rex Dawson coming in, transferring from U of H, and I think we signed 2 good freshmen. So we got a lot of competition at that position, and I think we got that all over. This is probably, it's going to definitely be the deepest and most experienced team we've had.
Coach, let's take a look at your schedule. Out of conference, you have a very, very tough one. You play Oklahoma State, and you play Louisiana Tech. What kind of preseason or out-of-conference schedule? What are you trying to exposure? How does this help the team?
We also play Grambling on the road too. I think what it does, it gets us ready for a very, very, very tough Sam Houston State team on the road, first conference ball game. So those 5 games are going to do what they're supposed to do, and that's to get us ready for Sam Houston conference play, and that's what we're going to get out of it.
Yeah, you do Sam Houston, Central Arkansas, Southeastern Louisiana, pretty tough conference start, Coach.
You bet.
All right. Well, good luck. Thank you for being here.
Well, I've had a lot of fun. I got my picture made with you. Won a little money in the casino, and I got a Willie Fritz autographed football to take back. It's been a great day.
It's been, yeah, there you go. All right, Lincoln, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Coach Woodard, as well as Brooke. Fans, when we come back, we'll be talking to, of course, Southland Conference Commissioner Tom Burnett, entering his 2nd decade steering this Southland Conference ship.
It's that feeling you get, that sense of complete trust and assurance that they will always be there for you. And when that happens, it's easy to fall in love. All it takes is the Go Deposit mobile app, your iPhone or Android, and a split second to fall head over heels with Mid-South Bank. And here's the best part. It's free to qualified customers. Now you can do your banking from wherever you are, even long distance. Let us show you the love right from your smartphone. It's time to love your bank. Mid-South Bank, serving Texas and Louisiana.
In the NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision, the game is played with perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game and respect his teammates, opponents, officials, and fans, every FCS player grows in his responsibilities as a student athlete and as a member of his campus and community. The NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision. Every down, every day.
Back in Lake Charles, inside the LaBerge Resort, once again, host and fantastic host thus far for the Southland Conference Football Media Day. We're again joined by Tom Burnett, 11th year now at the helm as we celebrate this 50th year. What a campaign that has been, 50 years now. Some great memories already being made, but also Southland Strong has really been something that started a year ago, and it's something that fans, student athletes, coaches have really embraced.
You know, Southland Strong has become the kind of the social media buzzword for this conference, and it really represents all the great things that happen, and they're so numerous. It's hard to really count them all, but certainly something we're very excited about that came about last summer when we announced it, and we had a lot of fun with that campaign, and I guess now we can call it the award-winning campaign. We did win an award from a communications company out of New York on that campaign, so certainly very proud of that. But now we have the 50th anniversary season, and that is something that's very special for any conference to commemorate. And we've got such a wonderful history that we're certainly very proud to throw it out there that this has been a good conference for a long time. It's been a great football league, and hopefully we'll continue to be that way.
Well, you've helped continue during your 11 years now some great traditions, but also focused on making sure the right branding is out there for these schools. There's a reason why there's the new membership. There's a reason why these schools, it was so important to them become a part of the Southland Conference. Part of that's with the TV, the exposure that has grown even exponentially over the past few years.
Yeah, and we're going to have more television than we've ever had before. 19 of our own games combined with our network and some other regional partners, but also too, over 40 games that are going to be broadcast across the country, various networks involving Southland Conference football. So we're really excited about rolling out a new television network package starting in October, and it's part of being in Division I athletics. You want to promote, publicize the best you can, and I think one of the best things a conference office can do for its membership is to provide it with television, and it's an investment made by the universities. We handle that investment, and we certainly want to provide them with a great return on that investment. So it's something we're very proud of.
We enter the final year of this 8-team football league. Of course, Houston Baptist, Abilene Christian, and the University of the Incarnate Word already officially members of the Southland Conference, but won't participate in football until next year. 8 teams, pretty easy to schedule. Once you get to 11, I know it gets more difficult, but that's a challenge you welcome.
Well, we do, because that's just the nature of the business we're in. And when I was here a decade ago at my first media day as commissioner, we only had 6 teams. So you only had 5 conference games. That was a big problem for this conference. And it's taken us a decade to get to a point now, which is a good problem to have. We have too many schools, so to speak, for the schedule we have to play. So we're going to have to modify that. But we've seen that around the country. It's a challenge, but like you say, it's kind of a welcome challenge. It's something that we think will put the conference in a very good, healthy position going forward. And we've got some work to do with our administrators and coaches on scheduling, but we'll get there. We usually do.
We've seen under your watch Southeastern and Lamar restart football programs. HBU has a different challenge ahead. What are they looking forward to over the next 12 months?
Well, it's a growing process for them, and it's everything. I mean, they had to get a helmet. They had to get chin straps. They've got to get equipment, all that. We laugh about, but that's part of the process. And, they also have to build a football field and a stadium, and they're doing all of that. And they're really committing themselves to being successful at this level. And they didn't put out a bunch of idle promises, and now we're trying to get them to follow up with them. They're taking the lead in the charge, and they're going to build a really good program in metropolitan Houston. So we're excited about that, and to be in Houston on a regular basis now is really a great thing for this conference.
Well, of course, Southland Conference Football Media Day means football's just around the corner. We love that, but it's extra special over these past 24 hours with so many members both covering and a part of the Southland Conference community under one roof. And Commissioner Burnett, we thank you as always for your leadership. Look forward to seeing you at all the championships throughout the year.
Absolutely, Lincoln. Thanks for all you do and everything that the network does for us. It's been great.
Our coverage continues. When we come back, we'll check back in with some of the players and coaches.
At the University of Central Arkansas, I've encountered world-changing academics and game-changing athletics, helping me become a regular on the Southland Conference Honor Roll. I was able to graduate early with a business degree, and now I'm seeking a second degree in physical education, all while playing Division I volleyball, softball, and soccer. UCA put me and my education front and center. Learn how at uca.edu.
We are Louisiana's future.
We are regionally ranked.
We are nationally accredited.
We are progressive. We are passionate.
We are purple.
We are global. We are local.
We are
Northwestern State University.
Local.
Global.
Northwestern State.
The Lumberjack experience at SFA.
Quality education.
Personalized.
We work hard.
And take it easy.
Small classes.
We know our professors.
And they care.
Beautiful campus.
Not too big and not too small.
Close to home.
But not too close. Majors you want.
Some only offered here. Winning sports.
Oh yeah.
Discover the Lumberjack experience.
Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks were one of the teams who received a first-place vote in this year's coaches poll. A bright future ahead, possibly a memorable season to come here in 2013. With more, we send it to Corbin Pate.
The SFA Lumberjacks entered 2013 looking to put their first losing season in 5 years in the rearview mirror and get back to the top of the Southland Conference. With the loss of 4 All-Americans from last year's squad, that might appear to be a tough task on paper, but the Lumberjacks have the benefit of a returning senior quarterback in Brady Attaway, who's already among the school and Southland's all-time leading quarterbacks. Attaway will have 3 of his top 5 targets back from last year's team, including DJ Ward, Mike Brooks, and Aaron Thomas. The Jacks also return the services of one of the nation's most exciting running backs, Gus Johnson, a 2013 CFPA Running Back Award watch list candidate. Johnson earned first-team All-Conference honors while pounding nearly 1,000 yards on the ground in 2012. Despite losing 2 seniors, including 2012 All-American John Steele from one of the nation's top offensive lines, Attaway should receive plenty of protection from the guys in the trenches. Defensively, the Lumberjacks will have to replace standouts Willie Jefferson, Josh Aubrey, and Ryan Epperson. Malcolm Maddox will return to his normal defensive end spot opposite Darren Robinson to give SFA 2 all-conference athletes at the bookends. Texas A&M transfer Shavion Hatton and Baylor transfer Donald Bryant should provide SFA 2 powerful run stoppers in the middle of the line. Junior Colin Garrett is the lone returning starter in an otherwise youthful linebacking core, and SFA's secondary lost 2 starters, including Josh Aubrey, who returned senior safety Caleb Nelson. For the Southland TV Network, I'm Corbin Pate.
Thank you to Corbin. You heard some of those big losses, but a lot of talent returning this year. 16 returning starters from a year ago from a team that finished tied for 4th, right in the middle of the pack in the Southland Conference. You see some big dates. Weber State there, August 31st, the final day of August, this upcoming month. But that conference opener against Southeastern, we'll have it on ESPN3 October 12th to kick off that ESPN3 slate of Southland Conference games. Well, we talked about a lot of seniors under the roof here at LaBerge Resort, but again, another school with such a bright future. They brought a pair of juniors, Gus Johnson, along with Darren Robinson, the running back and defensive lineman, joining us. And well, when you talk about Gus Johnson, it seems like it really began last year against the eventual champs, Central Arkansas, about 8 inches of rain that day, and that didn't slow you down one bit. A breakout performance for you. Did that help you know that you had an extra gear in your game that you could take over against a top-notch team like that?
Yes, sir. It really gave me a lot of confidence, as a running back to, I basically put the team on my back that night, ran for a great game in the rain, so it made me feel real good.
Lumberjacks play out of that spread, and I know a lot of running backs would hesitate to sign up for that, not thinking you're going to get your numbers. How do you come away with multiple 200-yard performances in that offense?
Coaches, they just believed in me. They had faith in me when they saw me start running the ball. So, I guess they thought, give him a little bit more carries and see what he can do with it.
Well, I have to imagine the man sitting next to you, Darren Robinson, every now and then gets frustrated by you in practice because you don't only run the ball and go out for passes. You don't mind throwing up some blocks as well. And Darren, what can you tell us about this young man when he doesn't have the football in his hands?
I always knew he was going to be great when he first came. I used to actually give him a lot of troubles when he first got here, I believe. But I always knew he was going to be great the way he just came out every day, his attitude and just little things.
These highlights you're seeing are from sophomores. Again, both Gus and Darren coming into their junior years now. Darren last year as a sophomore, 7.5 sacks. Darren, that was only second best in the conference because a teammate of yours was top man as a senior. Now you're the top returning sack master in the league. That means some double teams are coming your way. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I look forward to it.
Are your teammates ready to step up?
Yeah, of course. My boy Malcolm 5'1", my brother. I'm going to be taking him up to the double team this year, so I know he's going to be making a lot more plays. We're going to be good.
Well, you've been getting some national attention. I'm sure your head coach, J.C. Harper's been keeping you modest despite all of that national attention, and he's now with Brooke.
That's right, Legan, here with Coach Harper. Coach, you guys finished 4-3 last season in conference play. Do you enter this season maybe with a little chip on your shoulder?
Well, we worked tremendously hard in the offseason to get better, and obviously the objective is to win football games. And you hope that your team has that fight and that scratch ability to want to go out there and really play tremendously hard. And I guess with those efforts, that's what you want, is a little bit of chip on your shoulder.
Now you have your returning quarterback. In fact, this will be his third year as a starter. Now, what are you looking for from Brady Attaway? How can he even take a step forward after starting for 2 years?
Well, I think he can continue doing what he's doing. Obviously, he has a lot of experience. He knows what we're doing. He knows how to do it. He's been out there before, which you can't take that away from him. Experience is a lot. I think anytime as a player or as a competitor, you always want to be the very best you can be. And so playing the game the very best you can be is what Brady wants, and consequently that's what we want as well.
All right, let's take a look at your schedule. You open conference play against Southeastern Louisiana. I asked this to Coach Roberts, how does this game set the tone for the season?
Well, I mean, it's always your first opportunity to win a Southland Conference championship, and usually you want to be able to start out on a winning note. So playing at Southeastern, considering the last time we played there, we didn't fare too well. We played really not very well, and they played tremendous, really physical football game. And Coach Roberts has an excellent football team that we expect will be a heck of a challenge, but we're looking forward to it.
And you and I were talking about this earlier, though, that game against Sam Houston at Reliance Stadium, that's always one that you guys get extra hype for.
Well, I'd say it's a tremendous venue, a tremendous opportunity for our programs to be able to play in such a big arena in the Texan Stadium, the NFL, and Houston market, and to play a team like Sam Houston, who in the last 2 years has went on to play for a national championship and back-to-back conference champions. It'll be a heck of a game again this year as it was in the last couple of years.
Coach, good luck, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Lincoln, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Brooke. Of course, Coach Harper entering his 7th year. Meanwhile, there is one program in the Southland Conference that's going to have a new coach on the sidelines this fall. Let's hear more about what they have in store in Natchitoches. what we saw last year, what Southeastern was able to do with a first-year head coach. It'll be Jay Thomas, the first-year head man in Natchitoches this year. Last year, a 4-7 mark, 2-5 in conference, finishing sixth in both polls. This year, the Demons looking to surprise some folks. You see some big dates coming up, and, well, you see some big men here at the desk, as I don't know if I even fit in the picture. We are joined by Blaine Cole and Leslie Deemer, a senior right tackle, senior defensive tackle, some big bodies up front looking to move some individuals wearing opposing uniforms. Blaine, let's talk about you. Not only can you move a defensive lineman, you're pretty good with the ag mindset of moving some cattle if you have to. I know you probably grew up and got your toughness from your ability out there on the farm and even showing some animals.
I have. I haven't been around it my whole life. Probably most of, 10 years or so. I enjoy it. It's my passion, and hopefully get back to it when this is all over.
What gives you the bigger rush, wrapping up a quarterback in the backfield, or pardon me, keeping your quarterback safe and keeping those defenders off you, or being able to tie up a steer?
Well, I wouldn't trade football for anything. It's a little bit more physically active, and I enjoy being physical and tough, so I enjoy that.
Meanwhile, Leslie, again, another senior part of this program. For you, a couple years ago, it seems like this switch went off as a student athlete, both in the classroom as well as out there on the field. Was there anything in particular that got you motivated?
Mainly my parents and Coach Thomas. They sat me down and told me that if I focus on school as much as I focus on football, then I should see success in both. And that really helped.
What's the biggest difference going into your senior year, thinking you have the knowledge of the program, and all of a sudden a new coach comes in with some changes?
It makes it more fun, and it makes it we have a lot more energy now, and now I feel like I'm ready, and I get to play multiple positions, so I think that'll help a lot.
Well, again, that new coach is Jay Thomas, and he is experiencing his first Southland Conference Football Media Day just down the hallway along with our Brooke Bentley.
Yes, here with Coach Thomas. Coach, first year with the program, but you did get to see your guys play in spring practice. What did you like from them? What did you see?
Well, I'll tell you what, the work ethic was unbelievable. And, we had a lot of areas that we got to develop. We lost a lot of key players from last year's team. So we really worked hard on that. We focused on those positions. But the biggest thing is the way our guys came out and they worked the entire spring. Also working on some off the field, getting better in a lot of different areas. You see the improvements across the board, and it's coming out of spring. We really felt like that our offensive line really was one of the most. We had a lot of improved positions, but we really felt like our offensive line was one of the most improved.
Well, you were the head coach at Nicholls State several years ago. You were known for the triple option. What can we say that this offense will look like this year?
Well, it's not going to be the triple option.
You got a good line.
We do have a good offensive line. We do. But we hired a young offense coordinator, Robbie Brown. He was at Valdosta State last year, and they won the national championship. So we're very excited about having him. And, it's out of the Tony Franklin type system. It is going to be the spread concept. But you never know when the O option will come in. We'll dangle that out there from time to time, but we'll have some fun with that.
Let's take a look at your schedule. You open conference play, as fate would have it, against Nicholls State. How emotional will that game be for you?
Well, I'm a pretty level guy, So
I get that.
yeah, so it'll be fun to go back. I spent 14 years of my career there. My girls were born in Thibodaux, so got a lot of great friends there, and we'll be looking forward to going back, and it's just another football game.
Well, Coach, good luck this first season. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Thank you.
All right, Lincoln, back to you.
All right, well, Brooke, when we come back, it will be the McNeese Cowboys and his former squad from Thibodaux. Again, those Colonels of Nicholls joining us here at Southland Conference Football Media Day.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent or visit us at texas.statefarm.com.
Get to a better state.
I like your messy hair. I like the clothes you wear. I like the way you sing. And when you dance with me, you always make me smile.
We believe you're at your best when you can relax and be yourself. And at thousands of newly refreshed Holiday Inn hotels, you always can. Holiday Inn. Stay you.
And then once again, we are kicking off the Southland Conference football season in Lake Charles, home of the Cowboys of McNeese. And, well, before we have to talk to some of the stars, let's remind you just exactly what this program has become synonymous with. 13 Southland Conference football titles.
The whole was once all swampland. I rose from the dry, cracked earth, a concrete giant, with steel veins forged from tradition. And if you listen closely, you can hear this old Poke's heartbeat. Teams enter and crumble in the oppressive Louisiana heat, while my men, my Cowboys, rise to greatness. Come fall, I'll awaken for 6 nights with a passion 20,000 strong for this cowboy country.
Well, as we enter the 50th year of the Southland Conference, McNeese State, joining back in 1972, is the longest active tenured member of the Southland Conference playing football. You see 16 returning starters. They've won 13 Southland Conference championships over the years. That is three times better than the next best currently in the Southland Conference. But we're joined by a couple of hungry seniors Arinze Agata again, the senior offensive lineman, joined by senior safety Terrence Cahey. A couple of individuals still looking for that ring. Arinze, what's it going to take to get that hardware like so many Cowboys before you?
A lot of determination and a lot of hard work, but, I mean, we will get it this year.
Arinze, last year you saw a record fall. It's amazing that records can still fall here in Lake Charles, but you had a running back go for 91 yards on a carry. A couple weeks later, you had a running back go for 93 yards. Two different running backs. Did either of them come back those 90 yards to thank you afterwards?
Well, I was actually running with them step for step right behind them, so I met up with them in the end zone, so we celebrated in the end zone, so it was pretty cool.
What is your 90-yard time?
I'm not too sure.
Terrence, 2012 team MVP of this squad that's picked to finish third in conference. I know you have high expectations for your senior year. The motto this season for the Cowboys, come together. What does that mean to you in this group?
I just think it means everybody needs to buy in. I mean, just as a whole, with coaching staff, players, just everybody, just buy into the program, buy into what everybody's doing and what the coach is saying. Let's just get this thing going.
Well, again, McNeese Cowboys under head coach Matt Viator, now in his 8th year, have never had a losing record, just a phenomenal tenure, and he now joins our Brooke Bentley down the hall.
Thank you, Lincoln. Yes, here with Coach Viator. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you returned a whopping 16 starters from last year's team that went 7-4. What kind of luxury is it to have that kind of returning talent?
Well, it's a great luxury, no question about it. I mean, you're able to get right into spring training and, start kind of doing the things, correcting the things you need to. And but no, it's a good luxury going in, and hopefully these kids can stay healthy and we can have them this year.
Cody Stroud is your returning quarterback. This will be his third year under center, starting under center. What are you looking from him this year?
Well, hopefully he can do a lot of the things he did last year. He was very productive. He didn't turn the football over. We've tried to expand, put more on his plate this spring in terms of having more freedom at the line of scrimmage and doing some things which he seemed to really like, and hopefully we continue to expand on those.
Coach, let's talk about your schedule. It is a very, very tough one to start conference play with. You look at there, Central Arkansas and Sam Houston State. Just talk about that tough stretch to start out with.
Very tough. I mean, obviously when you start at South Florida, Arkansas Pine Bluff is picked to win the SWAC. Weber State, you look at it, those two games at Northern Iowa, then turn around and go to Central Arkansas, are probably as tough as you can get. But it's exciting. I mean, you want to play good teams, and I think it's a good schedule.
Well, Coach, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, Lincoln, back to you.
All right, Brooke, thank you very much. We continue to move along here at Southland Conference Football Media Day, including a team that returns 22 starters, by far the most returning starters. That is the Nicholls Colonels. For more, here's Michael Wagenheim.
This fall, the Nicholls Colonels turn the offense over to quarterback Bo Hebert and Wildcat Toscani Figaro. As a sophomore, Hebert saw action in 4 games, completing 62% of his passes for 315 yards and a touchdown. As a true freshman, Figaro averaged 7.2 yards per carry with 3 TDs before an injury cut his season short. Senior Marcus Washington will be the featured running back for the first time, a 2011 All-Southland honoree. Washington has averaged nearly 5 yards per carry over his career. The Colonels are stacked at wide receiver, with Eric Buchanan posing a lethal deep threat. The JUCO transfer averaged 28.3 yards per catch last year. Southland junior tight end Nick Skelfo recorded 300 yards receiving, hauling in 2 touchdowns. The offensive line brings back 4 starters, led by All-Southland left tackle Abasi Salimu. Senior Lorenzi Young is slated to anchor the defensive line. Last year, he recorded 28 tackles with 3.5 for loss. The linebacker core a key component in Jordan Piper. But senior Chris Berman is back, along with juniors Nick LeBlanc and Davin Bovey. The Colonels are veteran-laden in the secondary. Senior safety TJ Lumar had 43 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a pair of interceptions. At cornerback, senior BJ Lewis recorded 47 tackles in 2012, and junior Torrin Joseph picked off 2 passes. On special teams, all Southland senior kicker Andrew Dolan connected on 7 of his last 8 field goals in 2012. Junior Damon Bolt is slated to return punts this year, with Josh Hanbury handling kick return duties. For the Southland TV Network, I'm Mike Wagenheim.
Again, thanks to Mike, as we see some of the numbers that stand out here. Those 22 returners losing just 6 starters from a year ago. And yes, you see what stands out right there. Final day of August, a big matchup on national television against the Ducks. But of course, conference play will begin against the squad from Natchitoches and Northwestern State. We're now joined by a couple of Colonels from Nicholls, that being Nick Scelfo, one of the most offensive-minded tight ends in the Southland Conference, along with TJ Lumar, the senior safety. And Nick, just right off the bat, two times recognized already in your career within the Southland Conference because of the offensive stats you're able to put up. How have you progressed at that position of tight end?
Well, I really feel like the tight end position is really progressing as far as opening up from not just as a blocking standpoint and in the running game, but it's now opening up into our conference. We got a lot of good receiving tight ends, and that's what I try to do. Anything that can help my team win, as far as if it's having a block and opens up some space from the running backs and that. But a lot of open field receiving, and it's helping our squad a lot.
This is a league that only lost 2 quarterbacks last year to graduation, with 6 seniors returning. But you guys thought you had Landry Clan ready to go under center. You and the offense have to adapt with a couple of individuals battling under center. How does that affect you?
Well, getting Bo in there as a starter this year, it's going to be different. But I mean, we got all the confidence in the world in Bo. Bo and I have great chemistry, and we've been rooming together the last couple of years, and we know how good of a playmaker he is, so we're excited to get him under center.
Bo, of course, Bo Hebert, son of Bobby Hebert of the NFL lineage. But enough about the offense. How about TJ Lumar and the defense out there in the secondary? Some new hires this year by the coaching staff, including not just a secondary coach, but a safeties coach and a cornerbacks coach. How's that worked for you so far?
It's been good for us, Coach, because we have coaches that know how to win. They know, they have a winning mentality. They know how to win, and it's brought a different work ethic for us, and it's helped us as a defense to come together and finally learn to communicate and make some plays.
Well, so we mentioned 2 coaches being brought in, each regarding the secondary. The third coach out of this year, a tight ends coach, of course, Nick Scelfo, very familiar with that change as well. One thing that didn't change for a 4th straight year, it'll be Charlie Stubbs on the sidelines, the head man of Nicholls and the Colonels, and, well, he is joined by Brooke Bentley.
That's right, Lincoln, here with Coach Stubbs. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, after a difficult season last year, how do you expect to turn things around this year? I know you have a load of returning talent coming back.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys back with significant playing experience. We also had a very good signing class. I feel like this would be the first year we'll be the most talented we've been since I've been at Nicholls. We brought in some FBS transfers, so how quick I can get them to assimilate into the team will be very important. So we're very optimistic. The guys have worked hard during the summer, so we're just getting ready to go.
A lot of eyes always on the quarterback position. Hebert was just mentioned earlier, but you also have a transfer from Tulsa. Is there a competition there? What's the status at quarterback?
Well, I feel very good about our quarterback position. A lot of talent. Unfortunately, Landry Klon, who started for us last year, is out for the year already on that with his shoulder injury. He had shoulder surgery in May. So again, Bo Heber's going into fall camp, our #1 quarterback. Again, we have Toscani Figueroa, who was a freshman for us last year, played very well. He's listed as #2. But Kalen Henderson, who's just joined us from Tulsa, he'll be right in the mix. And again, taking Kalen is very important for us because, again, we got a young man that started at the FBS level. You know, he's a playmaker, and we need all the playmakers we can get in our program.
Well, let's take a look at your schedule. You open things up against Oregon, one of the toughest teams in the nation, and that's on national television. What kind of exposure does that game give your team?
Well, it's very important. When I came here, most of my years of coaching have been at the FBS levels, but I wanted to come here and I want to compete. And I feel like I've recruited the right type of guys to be able to at least get in there and compete in these types of games. Oregon, I'm very familiar. I coached at Oregon State for 6 years, so I'm very familiar with the area. And half of the coaching staff at the Oregon I coached with, so I know all the guys. But more than that, it's just an opportunity for us to go out there and compete. Most of the kids, believe it or not, at the FCS level, which is us, they all believe that they should be playing at a higher level. That's just the way it is. But I believe that I do owe it to them to give them some opportunities to get out there and see how they really stack up in a big-time environment.
Coach, good luck this season. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lincoln, back to you.
Well, if you've been keeping track, that is 8 teams, all 8 teams that we'll see this fall, but we still have 3 new members to introduce you to when we come back here in Lake Charles. When we come back, we're going to hear about a 5.
I personally love the McNeese Ag Department because we're like a close family.
The professors are very personable, especially professors that are in the Ag Department.
Here at McNeese, we're only one of 3 universities in the state of Louisiana that actually have a farm. We have one of the top agriculture departments in the state.
The greatest opportunity I've had for sure was being able to study abroad in Australia.
If you graduate from McNeese in the Ag Department, it's not hard to find a job. People are looking for you, and that's what everybody here is striving for.
Think of the NCAA as a spirit squad, cheering for student athletes at every big event and every small one. We'd be there in the classroom, at graduation, at their first job interview. Okay, so don't think of us as a spirit squad. Think of us as a mascot. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Well, not only has Lake Charles become synonymous as the starting point for these Southland Conference football seasons, but as of late, Frisco has become synonymous with where the season comes to an end. In fact, that's not just true for the Southland Conference. That's now true for the entire nation in the FCS, as Frisco this past year, yet another success story.
Long pass and hit.
Welcome everybody to the 2013 Great Texas Barbecue Bowl event.
Oh yeah. I picked both teams to be back this year.
It's like I never left. It's hard to get here, so it's a night to celebrate.
The people are welcoming.
Guys, how are you?
Beautiful event. The players really enjoy it.
It's an experience of a lifetime for me.
Frisco is a beautiful city. Right answer. Yeah. Very good city. I mean, they are the best hosts. People are getting to know Frisco. We're getting to know them, and it's a great thing to have here. The barbecue is phenomenal as always.
And then we got these potatoes. I remember from last year, they were phenomenal. #1 thing. So definitely get some potatoes.
The beginning of our big competition.
The local Frisco community has been outstanding, putting this game together now for the 3rd year in a row. Really can't ask for much more.
81-112, our winners from North Dakota State. The one true national championship is going to be decided on the field on Saturday.
Great game in Frisco. Frisco forever.
Let's go Bison! Greatest fans in the country right here.
This is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We're from Jacksonville, Alabama, and enjoying this.
We're here for revenge. Yeah, it's our time.
It's a really good experience for the FCS and the Southland Conference for putting this on. They did a great job.
Anytime I can support my old college, I do that.
The town, it just opens their arms to us.
The energy is really high. It's going to be a close game. I think within a touchdown, one of the teams is going to win. It's not going to be a landslide for either team.
It's huge for Frisco, about $6 million economic impact for Frisco, so good for the city. A good partnership between Hunt Sports Group, the city, and the school district. This is what we built the stadium for, to bring events like this to Frisco.
The partnership with the city of Frisco, the whole community, has been a dream come true. You know, it's each year this game's gotten bigger and better.
Five years of dedication really pays off. It's something special down here. It's a nice area.
There is nobody in Fargo. Everybody is here. Look at you, as you can tell.
Hospitality, bar none. Definitely. There's even more of us this year than there was last year.
Our goal is not to do just another 3 years, but we want to keep it here for the lifetime of the event.
This game is part of who we are now, part of Frisco.
I don't even know his name.
I'm from Fargo. He's from Huntsville.
Huntsville.
Yeah, we got it going.
We went out and got bison burgers.
Did you guys see the Prep Fest at all? I blew you guys out of the water.
Everybody turned around and said, play that funky music, white boy.
There's a group of us who love FCS football and what it stands for, and really it's the importance of being able to play in front of a great crowd for the kids, for the coaches, and football means something to their campus. It means something to their communities.
I love Frisco. I love Dallas. I love this area.
Frisco is wonderful. The atmosphere is wonderful. All the it's orange. I just love it. When you start with 125 and end up with 2, we settle it on the field. And that's the great part about having a tournament format to define the champion.
Such a great atmosphere in Frisco, host for a 3rd straight year, the city of Frisco, along with the Southland Conference. And great news this past offseason for at least the next 3 years. Southland Conference in the city of Frisco will continue teaming up to host, and the Southland Conference would love to continue having 1, if not 2, participants in these upcoming January championship games. So over there at FC Dallas Stadium, such a great atmosphere. Again, Southland Conference last 2 years represented by Sam Houston State. But time to mark your calendar. Saturday, January 4th. Those tickets did not last long this past January. We don't expect them to be available for long this upcoming January either. Well, fans, if you can't attend games in person, of course, you always look forward to seeing your favorite schools on TV. And the Southland Conference Television Network continues to have you covered. Randy McElvoy, along with Shay Walker, continue to have the play-by-play call of those games. It all begins in October, that first week. McNeese State taking on Central Arkansas should be a classic as we start to find out exactly how the dominoes are going to fall in the championship race in the Southland Conference. Well, yours truly thrilled to be a part of the ESPN3 package as live coverage continues on that exclusive schedule for Southland Conference. It'll kick off October 12th, the first of 6 dates, which we will see the majority of the conference and all of your favorite athletes coming your way. It doesn't stop there, though. Along with the Southland Conference Television Network and ESPN3's exclusive package, our friends in Houston over at Comcast Sportsnet Houston, an exclusive schedule with 5 games of their own, and that includes some future programs. Abilene Christian taking on Houston Baptist over there at the Dynamo Stadium in Houston. That'll be near the end of their schedule. And well, speaking of some new programs, when we come back, we will introduce you to the 3 newest head coaches in the Southland Conference fraternity.
That feeling you get, that sense of complete trust and assurance that they will always be there for you. And when that happens, it's easy to fall in love. All it takes is the Go Deposit mobile app, your iPhone or Android, and a split second to fall head over heels with Mid-South Bank. And here's the best part. It's free to qualified customers. Now you can do your banking from wherever you are, even long distance. Let us show you the love right from your smartphone. It's time to love your bank. Mid-South Bank, serving Texas and Louisiana.
In the NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision, the game is played with perseverance, integrity, passion, character, and sportsmanship. As he works to honor the game and respect his teammates, opponents, officials, and fans, every FCS player grows in his responsibilities as a student athlete and as a member of his campus and community. The NCAA Division I Football Championship Subdivision. Every down, every day.
Southland Conference entering 2013 with 8 football members. That will change drastically heading into 2014 when there will be 11 schools participating. 2 of them represented at the desk with me here in Charles, as again Larry Kennan, head coach of UIW, entering his second year in San Antonio, and of course head coach Ken Collins entering his second year as the head man in Abilene Christian after a long tenure as an assistant. And these two gentlemen very familiar with one another, coming out of the Lone Star Conference in their debut seasons as head coaches last year. You two are either going to learn to love each other or learn to despise one another. A home and home this season. Coach Kennan, you've been around. When was the last time you saw that on a football schedule?
Well, when I was coaching in the NFL, it happened a lot, but so it'll be really interesting. You know, we have great respect for Abilene Christian. They're about 220 miles from us, so it's an easy trip, and they're a good team. We're hoping to play a little bit better than we played last year when they beat us, but they're a good program, and we hope to be like they are.
Several sports will have travel partners, and these two schools appropriately will be travel partners as we see the schedule for UIW. And UIW is actually going to get to introduce themselves informally to several Southland Conference schools, including at Sam Houston State in Huntsville coming up in September. But you're not a stranger to Southland Conference, former head coach over in Beaumont.
Yeah, a long time ago, before a lot of the fans were born. But you know, it was a wonderful conference back then. A couple of different teams, but it was wonderful coaching, outstanding players, just like it is now. It's bigger and better now, but it was really good back then too. And I've said it for years and years. The quality of coaching in the Southland Conference has always been outstanding, and the caliber of players has always been outstanding.
Well, the Southland Conference is celebrating its 50th year, and 57 years before the Southland Conference began, Abilene Christian played its first down of football 107 years ago. Ken Collins, I know you were not even close to being on the radar at that time, but having grown up in the Southwest, before I understood the difference between D1 and D2, I knew about Abilene Christian football. There is a mentality there that is certainly going to fit in with the Southland Conference.
Sure. We've got a great product here at ACU, and we look forward to growing along with Coach here. You know, we were talking about scheduling. It doesn't matter, really. We're all going to learn this together. It doesn't matter who you're going to play. You're going to play different people for the next several years. You better play well to win those games.
We're going to show the fans at home the schedule that you have coming your way. In fact, you're going to get a little sample of what it's like to play in Frisco, playing Tarleton State over there at FC Dallas.
That's right. That's a great setup. And I was actually at the national championship game in the stands this last January, and it was a great atmosphere, really good game, and we've all got to start working to where we can maybe get there someday.
Oh, when you took an assistant job in Abilene, you knew you were going to have some purple in your wardrobe, but you already had that purple available in 1995, product out of Central Arkansas. And I would guess as a D2 school going to Division I, there might be no program better to model yourself after with the success that Coach Clint Conk has had over there.
Oh, there's no doubt. And I've spoken with him and Brooks Hollingsworth. He's on staff there up at UCA, and you know, there are no secrets. Those are great guys, and they do a really good job there, and have built a major foundation, which the Southland is finding out because they're a player every year. So they help me out. But the thing is, every situation is different. You've got to be who you are in the transition. You can't be anybody else. And we're taking our culture and our product and moving it forward. So it's nobody can give you a real blueprint. You've got to do it yourself.
Well, Southland fans, starting next year, you can start making those road trips to San Antonio and to Abilene, and yes, of course, to Houston. Head coach of HBU, Vic Shealy, he has a different challenge. He doesn't have a D2 program to elevate. He has a program he had to start from scratch. Brooke?
That's right. I'm here with Coach Shealy. Coach, thank you for being here.
It's great to be here.
Well, you know, Commissioner Burnett was talking about it earlier. You guys started from scratch. New helmets, chin straps, footballs, the whole deal. Talk about how this program has evolved since you were introduced as head coach, because I was actually there for that introduction.
Well, I tell you what, we've got a great team of people who were on campus that prior to my arrival, Dr. Sloan and Steve Maniaci, giving great leadership, and that's continued. But just step by step, you start putting together a roster. You get a staff together of recruits. You start building a field. You start building buildings, and all of a sudden, here you wake up one day and get ready to play.
Well, you guys had a chance to work out in the spring, a couple of weeks together. What did you learn from your players? I mean, you had guys coming from all over the place coming to play together for the first time.
You know, that's one of the interesting things about college. You're bringing kids out of diverse backgrounds, but particularly in a new program, you're bringing probably even more diversity because so often they don't even have a year or two of prior relationship to anybody been on campus for the first time. So it creates a lot of excitement. I know that spring for us from day 1 to day 15 was a significant amount of growth. Fundamentally, and just knowledge of schemes, it was great. And we hope to build on that this fall. Well,
you guys start with a bang at Sam Houston State. Wow. That'll be a tough one, Coach.
It will be, but I tell you what a great opportunity for us. You know, our players will get a chance to see what the best in the conference looks like, and one of the best teams in the nation, certainly. And for us, we'll be a better program for playing them.
And of course, you start Southland play in 2014. What do you think this schedule does to help you prepare for that?
Well, you know, I think this year's a great year for us to be able to play some teams that we should line up and be able to be competitively successful against, and some challenged by. We need to have our lips bloodied and also have the taste of victory too. But as we move forward, we can't wait to play everybody in the league in 14 to be able to have a chance to compete for the conference championship and get to the playoffs.
Coach, thank you for being here. Good luck next season.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it, Brooke.
All right, Lincoln, back to you.
So, Brooke, we have a lot to look forward to in 2013, and we're learning more and more about what's on the horizon in 2014. When we come back, we wrap up our live coverage as Media Day continues here in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
At UIW, you will know where you're headed. I chose UIW to continue my education because of their mission of encouraging first-generation students from all income levels to attend and complete college, an aspiration I strongly believe in as well. I encourage all the students still on the fence to know the power of a degree. Not only does it give you a fulfilling sense of accomplishment, but it prepares you to be successful in your next phase of life. And you will know how to get there with UIW. At UIW, you will know.
You need some help with that?
Yeah. Thanks.
No problem.
It's just this top one.
At Houston Baptist University, belief isn't just a mindset, it's an action.
Okay.
See you around.
Yeah, bye. I believe doing for others is part of our DNA.
HBU, a higher education.
Wrapping things up here at L'Auberge Resort, once again, site in Lake Charles, Louisiana, of the Southland Conference Football Football Media Day, and let's remind you how we began things today. As you see the Sports Information Directors poll, the defending co-champs Sam Houston State and Central Arkansas again to pick to be the class of the conference. McNeese State not too far behind with last year's third-place finishers, the Lions of Southeastern. And coaches poll very similar when you look at the top three and then some changes throughout the remaining five. Lincoln Rose along with Brooke Bentley welcoming you back as, well, Brooke, you have a chance at one last glance at the polls. Anything that stand out in particular to you?
Just the shakeup at the bottom. I mean, you see the difference from the coaches poll to the Sports Information Directors poll at the bottom third of the teams. But you know, it's really up for grabs down there. I think any of those teams can make a push, and they're all hoping to do it this year.
Well, Southland Conference over the years has become synonymous with some amazing players, including some All-Americans, and that is not any different in the preseason selections coming into this fall. As in we'll have a chance to share those with you. But Brooke, while we do get that graphic up, your impressions from this 2013 Southland Conference Football Media Day?
Well, I mean, you really see a lot of optimism, of course, with these coaches, but you know, everyone's just excited to play football again. I think everyone's ready for this season to get going. You know, it's funny, you sort of think that the off season lasts forever, but it doesn't. It's here before you know it.
You see those preseason all Southland Conference selections, many of them joining us. And on the defensive side, again, some of the other individuals who will become household names if they are not already. And you are going to have a lot of chances to see them in your household. We showed you that TV schedule a couple times earlier today, not just the Southland Conference Television Network, as well as on ESPN3, but again, our friends over at Comcast Sportsnet in Houston. Well, Brooke, you and I are lucky because when this broadcast ends, we get to stick around a little bit longer, have some more fun with the coaches, players, and yes, the local media and SIDs here at LaBerge. For you fans at home, you're going to have to wait a couple more weeks, but football will be here soon enough.
That is true. I know. We get to hang out in a great place. Lincoln, this has been a lot of fun, and I'm excited for Southland Conference football.
Thanks to our entire crew. We look forward to taking them on the road for this year's live coverage for the 2013 Southland Conference football season.
Let's get them as quick as we can.
Come sit here. Can you come sit on the chair? look at it.
See, we have Sam Houston at 310.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Do we need colors?
No.
Sweet.
Okay. Good job, Randy. All that means. Okay.
So you had the list of players and stuff, or?
Well, they're getting them. Okay, I need everybody else to start tearing down. Stevie will take care of this, okay?
Wait, Steve.